Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome to another Sunday Musing. Just to clarify here, these shows at the weekend are ones in which I get to riff on a topic that's been on my mind or that I've been thinking about in a little bit more of an informal way than the studio videos that we do in the week. Yes, some of the studio videos are changing in current months, but not until we get our new studio. We do listen to your feedback and we're grateful for every little bit. Before I get into today's topic, I just need to address this thing that's on my chest right now. I don't know if you can see it, but I can certainly feel it. It's this little heart monitor thing here. I mentioned it as a little Easter egg in yesterday's video on 10, but I just want to say I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about. It's just a medical device that I have to wear for the next 2 weeks. So any video that's made in the next 2 weeks, you're going to see it if I'm not wearing something that's really high neckline even. And I don't feel like I need to hide it. It's just to check my heart rhythm. We have long QT in our family, and there's been some questions over the last sort of 5 years or so whether I have it. So they're just doing some more investigations. So don't worry there. Anyway, the topic I want to talk to you about today is how far is not far enough when it comes to the range of plug-in hybrids. We've seen many more plug-in hybrids come onto the market in recent years, partly because they help automakers to figure out how they're going to meet emission requirements, because the way that plug-in hybrids are rated is slightly different to the way that internal combustion engine vehicles are rated. And you're starting to see plug-in hybrids coming onto the market with ranges anywhere from 10 miles all the way up to 50 miles before the petrol engine kicks in. And my question to you today, it's a really simple one, is at what point is an automaker taking the Michael when it comes to plug-in hybrid range? And at what point are they just making a plug-in hybrid vehicle so that it technically qualifies for some government grant or so that it's technically bringing down the fleet average fuel economy? I don't like kind of throwing around accusations of an automaker not being serious about making plug-in cars, because I think now, for the most part, every major automaker is looking at Tesla and other car companies that are doing more in the electric sphere and going, crap, we need to catch up. And I think that's true across the board. But this week we saw the BMW 7 Series, new BMW 7 Series plug-in hybrid launch, which has a range smaller than the previous year's plug-in hybrid. And it kind of gets me wondering just how far a car has to travel on electric only mode before you turn around and go, I'm sorry, that's just a party trick for a petrol engine, for someone who wants to feel like they're driving a green car. Personally, I think that once your range gets to above 25 miles per charge, then the car is being pretty serious about wanting to offer electric only options in the future. Now, the Outlander plug-in hybrid, which is a car that I'm going to be driving next week, sits somewhere in that range. And I'm going to be interested to see how quickly I get through that battery pack. I think it's like, I want to say it's 12 kilowatt hours of capacity. I might be wrong because I haven't looked it up, but I want to see how quickly I get through that before the engine kicks in. And I also want to try and balance the understanding between the practicality of owning that vehicle versus the limited range in electric mode. But I think that 25 miles is a good crossover point for this reason. Your average person in the United States commutes around 15, 16 miles one way. And that 15, 16 mile commute could be done on all electric if you left your house with a full charge, drove to the office, parked up and charged during the day, and then drove home again. That could still be all electric. And then at the weekend, if you did want to go on that crazy long distance road trip and you had range anxiety, there's a caveat there, then you could do that. And I'm not about to tell people they shouldn't drive a particular type of vehicle or that their worries about range anxiety are not true or that they're bad. You know, personally, I don't get range anxiety. I'm quite happy to jump in an electric car and drive it 500 miles in a day or so. And that's not a problem. But I also acknowledge that a lot of people do have range anxiety and do have worries about it. And so for them, buying a plug-in hybrid maybe offers them the best of both worlds and maybe gets them into a mindset where, like I say, that 25 mile limit, you're driving just to and from work. and you're going, you know what, actually, I don't need petrol anymore. And then the next car becomes an all electric model. I think below that 25-mile point, you start playing kind of the point of diminishing returns. If you can handle daily driving to and from work in electric only mode, I think then that the plug-in hybrid is a good thing. But if it's just, 10 miles, as some plug-in hybrids are, 10, 15, 20 miles, I think they're just taking the mickey. And I think it's just designed to get around emissions regulations and other government regulations, which, let's face it, an automaker doing that is no different to what Elon Musk did this week, or Tesla did this week in Canada, by going, oh, we've got to make a Model 3 that's under 44 grand or 45 grand. Okay, here you go. This is a software locked Model 3 that can only do 93 miles per charge. Are you happy now? That logic, circumventing the rules, is just what some of these other car companies are doing when it comes to, we have to make a plug-in hybrid, making a plug-in hybrid that technically does 15 miles per charge, but the rest of the time is going to use petrol. So let me know in the comments below at what point you think we should be saying to a car company, you're taking the Michael. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with more content as usual. I've got one more week here and then things get really crazy with everything else that's happening. I hope I get to have a weekend because I broke our server today and it's 5 o'clock on a Friday and I haven't even edited 10 yet. So keep evolving.